Hello everybody, how you guys doing? 皆さんご機嫌いかがですか？皆さんこんばんは。ですね、今日はですね、インタビュー、海外編をちょっとお届けしたいなと思います。この間、直樹さんとですね、インタビューを取らせてもらって、結構すごくいい反響いただいたので、第2回やりたいなと思って、今度はもうせっかくだったら、フィットネスの本場といえばアメリカ、そしてクロスフィットの発祥の地といえばアメリカということですね。現在アメリカに住んでる、テキサスに住んでるリチャードさんに、ビデオ通話してもらって今回はインタビューをさせていただきました。この動画なんですけども英語になります。で英語をねちょっとお前それ発音ちゃうやんけとか、あとお前ブンブン間違ってんねとかってね、英語マスターな人はちょっと気になる方いらっしゃると思うんですけど、僕留学とか海外に住んだこともない意味でちょっとその点はご容赦いただきたいなと思います。なんで、その点もちょっとね甘めに見てもらいながらぜひ楽しんで聞いてもらえたらなと思います。では、お届けします。どうぞ。そしたら、皆さん今日は、チャンネルご覧いただきましてありがとうございます。今日はなんとテキサス、アメリカのテキサスと大阪をつないで、遠隔でちょっとインタビュー形式でお話しさせていただける機会を設けさせてもらいました。今日のゲストはリチャードさんです。よろしくお願いします。Richard, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming to my channel.
よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
ありがとうございます。
Anyway, how long do we have the time difference between United States, Texas between Osaka?
Sure. Right now it is. I think it's technically 14 hours. Right now it's 7:18 in the morning. So yeah, morning. It's your evening. Pretty much exact opposite.
Right. And now we can say おはようございます。こんばんは、リチャードさん。
Right. おはようございます。今日こんばんは。
お願いします。Okay, so today why I wanted to have this opportunity because my channel is basically talk about CrossFit and also functional fitness. So as you can see, I am not like bodybuilding type of person, and yeah, of course I feel they are so cool and their physique is really looks amazing, but I prefer to follow CrossFit style. So in general, what kind of things going on in the United States? Yeah, and CrossFit is of course originally from US. So that's the reason why I'm so glad to have this opportunity. This is a before question. Yeah, this is very important. And would you please briefly introduce about yourself?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So I'm Richard. I live in the Dallas, Texas area now, and I basically until 2021 March, I lived in Osaka for 3 years, and our son, we have one son, he's 5 years old. He was actually born in Japan, just like 1 year before we moved to Japan. And now that we live in Texas, we're continuing his education in the Japanese language. There's a big Japanese community here in Dallas that is because Toyota's national headquarters are here. There's a couple other Japanese companies, and we're able to basically have a small Japanese community here in Texas, which has been really great.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been really good. And so he goes to Saturday school every week, and he's able to really keep his Japanese pretty strong. And we're also trying to make a trip to Japan every year so that he has contact with his relatives to keep his connection with Japan strong.
Thank you so much for sharing. And personally, I really have a lot of questions about your life and why you moved back to the United States or this kind of things. But today is about all fitness. So let me proceed. So your fitness journey. Okay. So so question number 1. And how did you get started in fitness?
Sure. So my meeting with fitness was very late. I did not do really any physical exercise for fun, like
Mm,
sports for fun until after college. I did like surfing a little
mm,
bit, um, and like kayaking,
mm,
uh, or hiking, anything that was just kind of outdoor related.
mm,
But until I like really got out of college and had kind of a routine,
mm,
that's when I started doing things like running and swimming, and I did some like short triathlons in my like early 20s.
mm.
And I think that was a lot of it was definitely a cultural thing that like that's kind of what people in the workforce do who have like a desire to be to feel good and to kind of and there's lots of facilities to do it. You know, in the United
Yeah,
States, there's lots of gyms, there's lots of options.
I can tell. Yeah.
You know, so that was where that started for me, and I would say it was very much kind of like self. It was it had no structure
Mm,
until I started doing CrossFit really, um, and that was about 10 years ago.
10 years
I
ago. Okay.
10 years ago went to my first CrossFit gym in California.
Mm,
In I had a job that took me to Long Beach, California,
mm,
and CrossFit was still kind of young. I mean, it was
mm,
definitely popular, but in the United States, the West Coast was the strongest at that time, and it was pretty exciting to
mm,
join a gym where to learn about the sport and see what people were able to do. I went to like my first CrossFit Open event that was
mm,
held at the gym that I
mm,
attended, and it was very impressive to see like what I knew I could do, and then to see
mm,
what these athletes were able to do by following this program.
mm,
And that was where it kind of started for me as far as getting a structure, getting
mm,
a kind of a plan that
mm.
was like a real regular program. You know,
I
before
see.
that I was just kind of messing around.
Mm,
If I had a 5K or a triathlon, I would
mm,
prepare for that event. But other than that, it was just kind of for fun. I like to
mm.
run, I like to swim. That's how it started for me.
And then eventually you meet the fitness life. It was originally CrossFit. You never tried bodybuilding or like you never been to normal gym. You suddenly started the CrossFit. Is that am I correct?
So what I would do, like when I would go to swim,
Mm.
I joined a YMCA, like
Okay.
gym, kind of standard gym with weights and machines and a pool
Mm,
for it was probably like 6 7 years that I was always where I would move around to
mm,
different towns, and
mm,
I would join those the YMCA,
mm,
and that was so I would do some weight training,
mm.
uh and I was interested in like having a good physique, like I wanted to be in good shape,
Right.
but it was also about like having a strong and kind of like relaxed mind. I think there's some culture in the US about how being
Fit.
and like being an athlete and being
Mm,
physically fit
mm,
connects to your mental, your mind's strength as well. I think
mm,
that's a part of I'd say that's a part of our culture, which I
mm.
think in some ways it kind of comes from the military culture um,
Okay.
in the US. Like there's like a quote that a strong a strong mind cannot exist
Mm.
without a strong body.
Yeah, comparing with our culture, yeah, now getting fit, going fitness gym and doing the bodybuilding, some people think about this is very cool. Generation and trend is getting moving forward. Yeah, and then people started to recognize, this is something cool. But what was the first origin you meet with the CrossFit? And what was the trigger you started to think, I want to go to the CrossFit gym? Yeah.
Sure. The first experience I had with CrossFit was being invited to like a free session at my friend's gym, and I did like one workout that was, I remember it was like deadlifts and wall balls, and just lots of them, and in a 1 hour time, and I was just like never was so sore before in my life, like after doing like all these wall balls, which were hard when I was doing them, but it made me realize that like really for my fitness journey so far, I was not really like focused on like building like my major muscle groups. I would just swim or run. I would do a lot of upper body weight training because that's kind of what my friends did. And CrossFit's focus on like the whole body,
Right.
and different like what they call like modalities of movement, like that they'll have one day of the week for each modality, was new to me. So after that experience, I thought I felt really good. I mean, I was really sore and it was hard, but having that program that someone forced me to do and that I had to finish before I left was really good, because sometimes I would just leave the gym. I would just like, today I don't feel like doing that, and would not finish my whole workout. And so just having a program and not having to think about the menu was really great. And then the results were really, they really just felt good. I felt like the best I had that far in my life. And they also had guidance on nutrition that I had never really followed much. And so I got some benefits out of that as well. Just like very, very basic nutritional guide, like instructions that made me feel a lot better too.
So you already, answered the question that I wanted to ask you, the value of CrossFit and why do you like this sports? Yeah. So this you said it, nutrition course and things that you can learn from the CrossFit gym is lots of things. It was anyway new to you. So that's why you really stick to the gym and you really, get into the CrossFit community and routines, I think. Yeah. So is there anything that you wanted to add the value of CrossFit and why do you like this sport?